and welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the semi-finals of the Sparkling Tuna Cup number 92. Again, your weekly dose of Tuna Cup action. There's a lot to get into. For now, though, we're jumping into our semi-finals this morning. In the top right-hand corner of Persephone, we have the blue Terran player. We have the Platinum Heroes player. It is Nicoract. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the red Zerg player, the red Zerg player himself. It is YoungYakov. And if you're in the chat, predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chats as we jump into our ZvT. Here we go. And something that I didn't actually get to mention coming into this was how European-centric and focused and dominant the bracket is. I mean, looking at the Koreans, we had Rebellion, we had Luna Sea, we had Quantel from Indonesia, but very little Korean representation this time. And I didn't get to talk about it, didn't get to address it, but typically we have regulars like Byeon, like Solar, like Shin, like Nightmare, for example, but not this time, not this week. And a big reason for that is the GSL qualifiers. We are going to be going over the qualifiers later on in the week. We'll get there, don't you worry. But the GSL qualifiers are currently taking place as we speak. They're not being casted. They are never casted live. The last time they were live casted was like 9 years ago. It's been a long time. It's been a long time since we've had any kind of live coverage of GSL qualifiers, which is why we are going to be going over those replays throughout the course of the week. I believe we are scheduled to cast the replays on the 30th? No, sorry. On the 23rd, sorry, 23rd. So in a couple of days at the end of the week, Friday, is when we are scheduled to cast the qualifiers. Actually, I think even before that. No, yeah, 23rd. Is when we do have some free time to cast those qualifiers, but that's why there's no Korean, or there's limited Korean representation here today. Just as a heads up, all the qualifiers. That does mean that it does give the opportunity for all these other players to thrive, to step in, and to show their mettle. For now, third CC or third Nexus is going to be delayed. Reaper is in position. Behind this, we see Nicoract trying to deny that initial Overlord Scouts. And Nicoract is typically very aggressive in this matchup, but here we go. Third CC before Starport, going for a standard economic opener. So far, so standard from Nicoract. Reaper does poke in. We'll pull away. He's just being as annoying as possible, delaying that third base. Behind this, going for the add-on swap. The starport is a little bit further back, and we are going for the tech lab on the racks. Okay. So far, so good. There definitely are some cheeky builds that Nicoract is quite fond of when it comes to going into BCs and going into BC, like Hellion Rush across the map, or going into elongated 2-base all-ins, but here so far everything is looking as it should. Oh, no tech lab. Never mind. If you remember, he had queued up the tech lab, but he goes Marine first into a Viking. Okay, now we have the tech lab on the way. Behind this, YoungYakov does claim his third. Is still droning, still saturating, keeping up with the Hellion aggression, at least trying to. See in the chat. Oh no. Got a 6K player shaking. What could be better? No fear. The fear is the TVT, Pappy. Next time. We'll host a TVT between Hackers Up and Eba. We'll get there. Oh no. As Nicoract, he does rotate over, looking for a way in. Behind this, not going for the add-on swap, it is going to be Viking into Liberator into Stim. Standard play here out of Nicoract. Okay. He's getting into his own standard opener, following up with extra Raxes. Likewise, more Hellions do reinforce. And Nicoract, he's looking to go for a dive. Oh, doesn't quite commit. YoungYakov is in position. Lings, they get there in time, but the base is under fire. One more volley. Oof. And the base is going to be cancelled. Nice pick up here from Nicoract. Slides the expansion, pulls away. Keeping YoungYakov on 3 bases. Behind this, YoungYakov going into 1-1 upgrades, into Ling Bane. Again, everything looking standard so far from YoungYakov. Nicoract going for another run by this time. He does get in. And drones are getting roasted. 8, 9, 10 drone kills. Aye, aye, aye. Yeah, brutal damage. Yakov will clean this up. Did I say 10? 14? It's 15. Can we get 16? We can. We get even more than that. 17 drones go down. The entire mineral line does get roasted. Does crumble. Solid start for Nicoract. Behind this, of course, getting to his own stim is Bio Army. The Marine count is lacking here, but YoungYakov, he is stuck at home. As he's just re-droning, resaturating, getting into Ling Bane Hydra. Does need more time. And Nicoract is secure. At this point, he is secure. Forces back the army. As we are building up. Armory for 2-2 upgrades. YoungYakov double expanding, getting his 4th base, now getting a 5th as well. But lastly, lack of economy, lack of droning here is concerning. As YoungYakov is still trying to recover. Still in at least 64 drones. Bane threatening a dive. Oh! Launcher going up. Not only Bane. Yakov is holding on. He's holding on, he is defending. Nicoract, he rotates over. It's being active, he does rotate. Nicoract, he stims in, we'll find an expansion, massive pickup. 5th base is going to go down. Mindshell's not baited. Oh! Yeah, not baited out. Nicoract, he picks up in time. Likewise, dropping into the main. Just pulling Yakov apart here. 2 drone kills, but no major economic damage yet. Outside of the bases, of course. As the bases have been going down. The 4th and the 5th. Here we get some Viking landed harass. Yakov taking up into Hydra, or into Hydra Lurker Viper. Taking up into Lurkers. Working towards the hive. And Yakov, he has retained his drone count at least. The drone count is still looking stable, but the bases, the production is still a big concern. Likewise, Nicoract does have the better economy. Does have the superior economy. Nicoract rotating over. Oh, that's a kill, not a cancel. Another base goes there. That's the 3rd expansion. It's a 2nd kill, but the 3rd denial. Ay, ay, ay. As Nicoract just being so active, so aggressive. Behind this, getting to a 4th expansion. And again, you can see the supply disparity here. Nicoract, he has a massive lead. All thanks to the drop play. Thanks to these drops. Likewise, stims in. Likewise, setting up mines. Oh! pushing on the right hand side. I can't quite engage the lurkers. Lurkers have arrived, but he can't fight out of range. Cleans up the queen, the lings, pushing towards left hand side. Yakov is holding on. He's going to stabilize. He just needs a little bit more time with those lurkers. Needs a little bit more time, but no, another base is going to go down. Another expansion. The 4th base falls. Takes down the 4, stims into the main. Takes down 9 workers. Oof. And Nicoract is getting called out. Getting caught out, getting cleaned up. Another Nicoract falls. And Yakov, I mean, tech-wise, he's there, right? He's got a handful of lurkers. We have some vipers that are now in the way. Composition-wise, he's, you know, in a better place, but the economy, the bases, the mining is not there. As he's still trying to recover. Nicoract pushing out once again. Clearing up creep. And ghosts have arrived. The ghosts are here. Stims on in. 1 ghost goes down. Oh, get the lunge. I just do lunge forward. Oh, that's nice catch here. YoungYakov catching out 2 full Metamax. Okay. Now, Yakov, I wasn't fully on board with his ability to recover here, despite losing all these bases. But Yakov, he's holding on. He's holding on. Oh, I say that. We'll lose the lurker. But Yakov, he's been able to drone back up to 86. He's maxing out. Again, the lurkers did slow the game down. I mean, that's the purpose. That's the power of the lurker. Slows the game down, does force the Terran player to back off, to tech up, get into a more slower ghost-based army. And Yakov is maxing out. Nicoract, despite that momentum that he had earlier, at this point has been stripped away. Oh, but he will find another expansion. Another base is going to go down. Yakov trying to rotate. Vipers have arrived. Takes down 1, takes down 2 tanks. Oof. And lurkers are going in for the... Oh no! Oh, the mid command. The other mining card was brutal, and the bio army is going to be completely cleaned up. Yeah, massive catch from YoungYakov. Takes down the army at the same time, denies the CC. Oh, the ghost gets surrounded, and no show. YoungYakov in 1 swift move. He wins on the left, on the right, takes down a base, catches out. How many ghosts just went down? 9 ghosts fell, 2 tanks as well. And suddenly, Nicoract, he plummets in supply. Some very rough fights. Yakov, he's doing it. Let's go. He's back in this. And lunging under, getting 1, 2, 3 Metamax. Brutal snipes. And Yakov is here. I believe his Vipers are not with the main army, moving with mainly Ling Hydra. Does leave the lurkers back home. This is not the fight to take. Oh, but really just a distraction. Okay, never mind. It was a distraction. They would go 12 SCV kills. Base denied. Suddenly a better fight for Yakov. Does take the better fight. Moving in. Another Metavic goes down, and Nicoract once again out of position. Lunkers, they move in. And they will take down the expansion. Planetary does fall. So he falls. Yakov moving in once again, gets another tank. Oh. Takes down the tank, brutal spine shots, oh my god. On the bio army. And Yakov is remaxing with things. Things are coming, they're moving out. He's remaxing, going for another expansion, another planetary. Oh my god, oh god, the spy balls are brutal. They clean the bio. GG gets called, and YoungYakov, you will take game number 1. Whew, GG. A very impressive comeback here from YoungYakov again for him to be able to recover despite losing 4 bases. Expansions that were falling left and right, but YoungYakov, he had his eye on the prize the entire time. The win condition, the goal was to get and tech into lurkers and just slow the game down. And once he got into a handful of lurkers, he was able to stabilize on 3 bases, slowly get a 4th, a 5th base, slowly break out. Nicoract, he had to back off. Another thing that really helped, of course, was catching out those 2 full medevacs. Nicoract, he did overextend. He bled out some full medevacs. He lost a little momentum in the process, and then we saw some greater fights for YoungYakov to be able to surround Nicoract, pop off with those vipers, with those spell catchers, and punish Nicoract for those mistakes. GG. GG, well played. YoungYakov takes the lead, and now we're jumping to game number 2. As we get into game 2, a big shout out to Werehug in the chat. Papi God. Thank you so much for subscribing for 8 months. 8 months, Papi. So many months. You're almost born. You're Esther Werehug. Thank you so much, Papi. Thank you so much. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast. You enjoy the casting. Shout out to Werehug. Shout out. Big shout out. Good friend, man. Good friend. As we're settling into game number 2 and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Incorporeal, we have the blue Terran player. We have the blue Terran himself down in the series despite popping off and despite having a very explosive start to the game. Remember, he even killed 17 drones. He roasted up 17 workers. He was killing bases. He was popping off, but couldn't quite end the game. We'll see if he can recover and force the ace match. For the Platinum Heroes, it is Nicoract. Almost. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have the red Zerg player himself leading the series 1-0 with a crazy comeback. It is YoungYakov. I say young, not so young anymore. Just Yakov. Smooch. We're all getting old, papi. All getting old. Young adult Yakov. He's here. Retired Yakov. Boomer Yakov. Oh no. One day. He did rename himself to Old Yakov. That was I think at the start of the year. I think during the off season. During the off season he was Old Yakov. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. As he's gotten a little bit younger since then. A little bit. But now there, Rax Expand, standard opener here out of Nicoract. Likewise, Hatch Gas Pool out of YoungYakov. For now, we're going to be settling in, and of course, welcome one and all to Incorporeal. Incorporeal is one of the larger maps in the map pool, larger than Persephone, which was in game 1. So a larger map, it can lead into longer game states. There are certain aspects, though, that can be taken advantage of course. That is the limited attack paths in the center of the map. It's a really unique feature where you have the Zelnaga in the center, and you can take control of it from either side. But to try to catch an army in the center can be quite difficult. The choke point here is very narrow, very brutal. So the fights in the center can be a little bit awkward as a result. Likewise, Nicoract is in position to delay the expansion. SV goes down, and the base is taken. Base is taken. Boomer Yakov. Oh no. Behind the Nicoract going for a 3rd TC before Starport. Standard economic opener. Is going for standard opener. Reaper does snipe the initial tumor. Nice pick off there by Nicoract. Very nice. Takes down the tumor. Behind this, again, going for that 3rd CC. Starport is now on the way. There's that tech cloud, but I believe this time there is no add-on swap. I mean, just like last game. Last game it was Viking into Liberator. And looking at this, looking to be the same build once again. I say that. Do we go for the swap? Building's done. Yep, there we go. We're going for the add-on swap. Going into the Banshees. Okay. At the same time, Lings, they do hit the natural. Boys are being pulled. SCVs are going down. Not bad. Getting up to 3, getting up to 4 SCV kills. Can we get 5? We can. 5 SCVs go down. A better start here for YoungYakov. Does nibble away at the economy. Nicoract still just building up those Hellions. Banshee production has begun, investing into Cloak. Gonna be that much more committed. As Yakov is saturating, going for the Baneling Nest before the lair, so safety Baneling Nest. Getting ready for the counterattack. Let's get ready. As Hellions, they rotate around. Still looking for a way in. And this time unable to. Remember last game they were able to roast up and get 17 drone kills. This time they haven't got any. That is 8 Hellions. It's quite a lot. 8 Hellions have arrived. They're going for the dive. They're going into the natural. Lings are in position. And the Hellions, they are getting caught. Yeah, just barely. 3, 4 Hellions go down. There's 4 Hellions left. They make their way into the main. They're still going to be close. Oh my god. Still going to be close. Queens are keeping up. And Yakov defends. Yeah, this time he shuts him down. He does punish the dive. 8 Hellions for only 2 workers. Ay, ay, ay. That is not worth it for Nicoract. That's a far cry from the 17 drones he got in game 1. This time Yakov was ready. Yeah, fool me once. I'm not shameless. True. Speaking of, I believe Shameless is still... actually, never mind. Shameless did wrap up his series. Shameless and Azura did wrap up. We'll get there. Finale. Focusing on our initial match. Banshees on the hatchery. Does force a cancel. Nicely done. Denies the 4th. But remember, Yakov, his 4th base was denied like 3 times last game. He likes it. He likes having his 4th base denied. As Lings, they counterattack. They get 1, they get 2 SCVs. Catch a goal of SCVs. Banshees are deflected. Nicoract still rotating. And the Banshees, they clear up a lot of creep here on the left-hand side. Creep is receding. Yakov, he's on top of respawning that creep though. Queens are rotating. And this extra racks are being thrown down. So far, just a 5 rack setup. Standard setup here from Nicoract. But again, he has lost most of his map control. And Yakov has been able to run up to 73. Getting up to essentially 3.5 base saturation. Again, Queens are being active. Nicoract denying more creep, going for the expansion, and he will force a cancel. Is he done? Denies the 5th. 5th base is going to be delayed. And she's a run into the Queens. To run in. But for the most part, yeah, YoungYakov is on a stable economy. He can now focus on his Link Bane. Behind this, going into Link Bane Hydra, into Lurker Tech once again, as the Invitation's on the way, so he's taking up towards Lurkers. Until then, just sticking with Link Bane Hydra is being active. has a comparable army, and Nicoract, he does not move out. He backs up, stays home. Just moving out with drops. Just moving out. We see an attempted run by, but ooh, Nicoract's in position. YoungYakov gets punished. Banelings, they get spotted as well by the scan. Oh, the borrowed Banelings. Let's go. Another scan reveals more Banelings. Yakov trying to dive in. Tanks on siege, and the tanks are going to go down. Massive pickup, takes down all 3 tanks. Cleans up the first half of the army, but he can't keep pushing. Has to back up. Oh, the bait! Oh no, he scans. Ooh, thank God. Nicoract, he does scan ahead of time. I mean, he has noticed those board Banelings. No place is safe. Not these ramps. That is enough to deter Nicoract. He backs the hell off. Take his fourth. Yakov, meanwhile, the hive is done. We have Vipers on the way. Lurker Den as well. Getting into Lunkers. Yakov does overextend, bleeds out a lot of Hydras. As he bleeds out the Hydras, we see Lings, they do hit the planetary. Base denied, and Nicoract, he races back home. He doesn't keep pushing. And the CC is going to be targeted down. Like Wrestling Bane catching out some of the tanks. CC does fall. And with that, YoungYakov is able to back off by enough time to rebuild and remax. Rebuild all those Lings, gathering energy with those Vipers. Say that, nice harass. Catching out some of these Liberators. Well, catching out some of these drones, I should say, with the Liberators. Okay, Queens are going down. Damage is being done. Nicoract, he still has a formidable army, but what he doesn't have is Ghosts. And here come the Vipers. Yeah, Mass Fighting Cloud on the tanks, on the fire. Shuts down the army, Powerbomb as well. And Nicoract, he's running out of steam. He does get 11 drone kills with those Liberators, that's true. But he needed more damage. Remember, he lost the 4th base, he lost the mineral line. He needed more. He's down in workers, down in economy. Nicoract, he rotates over. Let's rotate. Lings, they peel off for a massive run by. They will catch reinforcements. Likewise, the planetary is not done. More SCV is going to be going down. Nicoract just getting pulled apart. He's racing back home once again. Not like this. He races back. More SCV kills. And YoungYakov once again just buying time for more energy, more Vipers, and more importantly, more Lurkers. Oh god. That's going to be a 13 SCV kills. SCVs. YoungYakov moving out. Rotates over. Does hit the CC. Yakov may be overextending a little bit. It's nice biting clouds though. Blinding Clouds are solid. Oof. Spine Volley's going up. Vital Assie's running out of energy, running out of Blinding Clouds. Yeah, Lurkers retreat, but GG gets called. There are no ghosts. There are no ghosts, no Liberators. There's no answer for those Lurkers, and YoungYakov, he will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the grand finals. Whew. GG. GG, well played, YoungYakov. He will claim the series. He will advance on. A very intense back and forth there. Again, Nicoract, he had definitely some strong moments in both Game 1 and Game 2 when it came to his drops, when it came to his counterattacks, when it came to his pushes, but unfortunately, he wasn't quite able to keep up when it came to the counterattacks of his opponents, and also wasn't able to break YoungYakov in Game 1 either. I'm referring to YoungYakov defending and stabilizing and getting into Lurker tech, where he was able to slow the game down despite taking so much damage. It was a crazy comeback there in game number 1. Game number 2 was a little bit more straightforward in the sense that we saw YoungYakov just able to, sure, he was losing bases, but able to pop off with their counterattacks and run bys, catching out SCVs, catching out their Hellions, shutting them down early on. GG. GG, well played. With that, YoungYakov, he's going to be our first finalist, and we are getting ready with our upper semifinals. It's going to be a ZvP between Iba and Shameless. Let's go.